Some random woman in screen 10 just now was like, "Are you in a rush?" Yes, I am in a rush to get the fuck out of Flight Risk. I honestly felt a sense of urgency just now. Like, as I was coming down the stairs, there were people, when people are sort of like meandering out between the seats and then walk onto the stairs that go to whatever, people are exiting the cinema. I felt this utter urgency to get the fuck out of that screen. So, first worst of 2025 was Wolfman. Second worst is Flight Risk. Was this supposed to be a comedy? Because any sense of sort of suspense and tension instantly diluted by the complete fucking idiot, the main male character, the witness, basically, who gets chained up in the aircraft at the start. Oh my God! It was like, do you know what? I can only describe Flight Risk as a humanised episode of Family Guy, which is incredibly ironic because both Mark Wahlberg and Michelle Dockery, I believe, have been in a few episodes of Family Guy. Mark Wahlberg has been in loads of them, and the Ted film as well. The main male character, he's such a fucking idiot, and he dilutes every single moment of tension that it's over before it's even begun. There's a plot hole. I don't know if it's relevant to mention, but the main plot hole is at the beginning when two characters have got the aircraft headsets on. They can't hear a thing that the guy behind's doing. Later on, Michelle Dockery's character, don't care what her name is, she's got the headset on. She can hear everything that the bad guy's screaming at her in the back. Plot hole. The plot itself is absolutely terrible. It's diabolical. I'm not even going to go into it because it's oh my God. It flashed up at the end, directed by Mel Gibson. Mel fucking Gibson. Oh my God. This film was like it was like an old Mel Gibson film, like a proper in both senses. It was like a Mel Gibson film, but also look at what we've got, the genre and the sort of style of movies we have nowadays. This was like they were trying to bring back very early 90s action films. It was horrific. So yeah, it was like a Mel Gibson film, only imagine something really imagine Face Off. I don't think it's a Mel Gibson film, but same thing applies, what I'm trying to say. Imagine Face Off with a character from Mrs. Brown's Boys, just like plonked in the corner, who's like delivering all these wisecracks and gags and like finishes every line with a, "You know what I'm saying?" kind of thing. That's exactly what you get with Flight Risk. I was horrified literally horrified at how funny he wasn't, how funny he was trying to be, like the witness character. It was that was one of the things that sort of removed any of the intrigue, was the fact that he just kept dropping these terrible fucking jokes all the way through, even in real deadly serious bits. Michelle Dockery's character gets slammed in the face by Mark Wahlberg's character. The witness guy's like, "Guess you're going to need a couple of paracetamol in the morning, huh?" And at one point, right, during this, I was actually looking behind me to see if anybody else was as gobsmacked as I was. It was, oh my God. It was horrific. It was beyond horrific. Like I say, it's my second worst of 2025. Oh God, the guy, Hassan, his random character, his name was. So when Michelle Dockery's character is calling out for help in the aircraft, this guy comes on the radio who's like, "Oh, not to worry, I've got you," and he starts like, he's directing her basically. She's like, I'm at 3,000 feet. The guy on the radio is suddenly like, "I'm sure your feet are very good for dancing. We must go for dinner when you land the plane." And it's like, what the fuck? And so this guy like who she's maydaying from the sky is like, okay, your altitude is fine, your turbulence, there may be some turbulence when I take you for dinner. What? So it was honestly, like I say, I'm coming back now. I'm pulling back to the fact that it was like a humanised episode of Family Guy, genuinely, and the irony again with Michelle Dockery and Mark Wahlberg, because they've been in Family Guy. I was just, you're just disgusted, absolutely disgusted. That's a guy from Swimming. There's nothing here. So the pathetic the one-liners and gags thrown amongst tension, horrific. The dialogue, the plot, horrific. The suspense or attempt at suspense, even more horrific. Nothing about this was just, and that was another thing. This movie, I mean, it's about the whole the action, the high octane action in the air. I couldn't feel any more like any less indifferent. It was just a bunch of people in an aircraft. When some films like this are so tense that it's like, it takes your breath away, and you're like, oh my god, they're gonna crash. Oh my god, look how dangerous that is. Look at the angle. Oh my god. There was nothing. This was basically a comedy sketch about people trapped in an aircraft, in a moving aircraft. That's it. The SOS guy inviting her out for dinner halfway through. No. There was more turbulence when they actually do land the plane at the end than in, again, it lacks such tension. Nail-biting action, that there's more turbulence when she actually lands on the runway at the end of the fucking film rather than like in the air. Oh my god, who the hell put this together? Who wrote this? Fuck's sake. So, right, is there anything else? I detest. I hated the witness guy who's in chains at the beginning, because it was just, it doesn't matter if she just got knifed or punched in the face by Mark Wahlberg. You can rely on Topher Grace to deliver a one-liner that'll have everyone laughing. Again, it was like I just said, imagine a character from Mrs. Brown's Boys plonked in the middle of Die Hard or Face Off. That's what you're dealing with here. It wasn't funny, and it wasn't needed. Like, I swear to God, I honestly think Flight Risk is supposed to be a comedy. It must be a comedy. Right at the very end, as the movie finishes, so as it comes to a close, there's a tiny bit, a few seconds, where Michelle Dockery's character notices like a dodgy character and goes running after it. But it's God, I didn't need this today. I'm just getting over a cold, and I really fancied something like juicy to get into. I was exasperated during Flight Risk, absolutely exasperated by the fucking irrelevant Joker in the middle of the film, the lack of suspense and horror. It was, I don't really, what the hell? There are characters. Another thing was characters I don't care for. So while she's in the air, she manages to get a perfect mobile signal and starts ringing her boss on the ground, somewhere in Manhattan, I think. One of the characters, it's just all bullshit. It's just characters chatting, and like her boss says a few things that a couple of people in the audience started laughing. It's like great. What's the I couldn't have been more different to the people. Anyway, right, so I fucking hated this film. I fucking hated it. Oh my god, could you imagine if I had to come at it from both sides? If I had to give a positive, the only positive Anyway, so yeah, right. So yeah, there are no positives. That's it. Anyway, there's a part where she's on the phone to one of the characters that you don't see, and it's like it all happens like really there's plot holes and there's no plot. Because like she's on the phone to this guy on the ground and she's like, I think you're involved in this, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Don't fuck with me. I've seen your the bank account, the money transfer. You've got no fucking proof, and if you tell anyone, it's like he's like disbelieving, and then he instantly like comes back at her. So it's like, do you know what I mean? There's no, even with like the off-screen characters, there's no tension at all. There's no, it's like, what are you talking about? If you tell anyone, literally in the same breath. It's just okay, fine. Fuck off. Honestly, Michelle Dockery, Mark Wahlberg, Topher Grace, and all you unknowns, fuck off. This was the worst attempt at a like, I don't know how to fly an aircraft film I've ever seen anywhere ever. Was there any other stuff? Probably not. I didn't actually think it was Michelle Dockery at first. When she first appeared on screen in the motel room, she looks really different. Incredibly different. She's brilliant. Oh, there you go. There's a positive. Michelle Dockery is brilliant. Divine, even, at doing an American accent. But otherwise, yeah. Irrelevant characters. Pathetic dialogue, unnecessary jokes being thrown in left, right and centre that dissolve any suspense, any intrigue, any of the action, and and plot holes with the headphones, obviously. Wowzers. Now, I'm not surprised because, a guy I know did actually text me as I was on my way to the cinema earlier, and he was like, good luck with Flight Risk. It is absolute dog shite. And I was like, oh, well, that's your opinion. It's now my opinion. This was fried shite at its height. I mean, there's nothing good about Flight Risk at all. And it's really empty. So what I've said about the negative elements, it was weird in the sense that it was empty. Really, it was just, there was nothing. It was just empty. It was just one of those things. It was like when you pick up a DVD in Poundland, that's like an old like mid-90s action film. This was that. I'm actually very surprised. I'm shocked and gobsmacked at how they actually produced this film, because given how things are made like nowadays, oh my god, this was like Mel Gibson trying to relive his like 90s youth or something. It's like, what? No. I genuinely would ask of all of you to avoid this at all costs, please. There's oh my god, there's nothing here. There's nothing great, there's nothing new. It's just recycled bollocks, basically. But yeah, that really, God, so fucking. So do you know, it's one of those. The guy, the SOS guy on the ground, who's like, I will take you out for dinner when we've finished here. How about that? Like, it's like, well, yeah, you're obviously, your character's having to say that, having to deliver such dialogue to comfort the woman who can't fly the plane. Oh, side note, she's a pilot by the end of it. But it just wasn't needed. And Topher Grace's character, is that his name? Because I was that bored, I was actually Googling, I was checking my phone and stuff through the film, low brightness on it so it didn't disturb others, and I Googled it. I think it's Topher Grace, yeah. His humour, oh my god, even when he gets knifed by Mark Wahlberg's character, he's still cracking gags, and it's like, just shut up, for fuck's sake. Right, anyway, I need to go. There's 14 minutes to say how absolutely shocking something is. Please don't do yourself don't put yourself through this. It was agony. It was absolute agony to sit through Flight Risk, and I would never ever watch it again.